Hey there, it's Melissa with Big Universe Music, and today let's talk about how to jam. I hope that at some point in your musical journey, you're gonna be able to break away from the practice room and get into a place where you can play with other human beings. Making music with others is really fun and magical and definitely worth the time and effort and attention to detail that it takes to get to that point. There's tons of ways to make music together. Some types of music will call it a band practice, while others will call it a jam. So say you're playing pop, punk, or rock, you might get a group of friends together for a band practice and work on your material together. Or if you play jazz, folk, or bluegrass, you might show up to a public event called a jam with your instrument. Here's some of my tips for how to make it a great experience for you and everyone else there. Before you arrive at the jam, don't overthink it. Just find a jam or organize a practice with your friends and invite them to show up. Of course, you want to make sure that your instrument is in working order and that you have everything you need to make music, like a strap, capo, picks, or if you're a singer, you might need a microphone if you're having a band practice where everybody's plugging in. Bring some extra equipment because that's a great way to make friends by being that person who's able to offer that extra pick or that extra capo. You're gonna feel more comfortable if you have a few songs memorized. You wanna have a solid repertoire so that when it comes time for you to call a song or for you to sing or play along, you already have those songs in your mind. Have a handful, maybe 5 to 10 songs completely memorized so that you're ready to go and play some music with other people. Also know what key you like to sing or play them in. If you're playing traditional or folk music, it's good to know what keys those songs or tunes are traditionally played in. Same goes for jazz. If you don't have your songs memorized, just be ready with your chords and lyric sheets. Most beginner jams aren't gonna mind if you look at them while you're playing. At home, try to make sure you're practicing with a drum beat or a metronome to get used to playing in time with other instruments. This is gonna help you to stay in rhythm with the group whenever you get to that jam. When you arrive at your jam, here's where you can choose your adventure. I like to typically get to a jam and do some listening before I jump in and play. That way, I'll know if I can keep up in the jam or if I should look for another session that's a little bit slower or more comfortable for me. For you, either get there right on time, set your case out of the way and get into the circle, or perhaps sit back, watch and listen and evaluate a little bit before you jump in. Sometimes, if I don't feel totally comfortable, but I still like what's going on, I'll sit off to the side with my instrument and strum along without playing too loudly. This is really nice because you can get a bit of practice, and sometimes people in the jam will invite you in, but if you're not ready to fully participate in that jam, most people don't mind if you sit off to the side and quietly strum or play along, especially if you're not disruptive of their music. Once you're in the jam, a gracious jam leader, you'll be able to tell who's leading the show in the jam, by the way. They're much like the conductor of an orchestra. They're usually passing around the song or they're bringing people in, and it's kind of easy to see who might be in charge of that jam. And a gracious host is going to invite you in and ask everyone to participate in the jam by doing what's called passing around the song. That gives everyone participating in the jam a chance to choose or suggest a song that they know really well. This is where having your songs memorized and ready to go really comes in handy, because when they call out your name or say, hey, what do you want to play? You've got some songs in mind already. Count your song off at a nice tempo that you can keep steady in a comfortable key and keep it going consistently throughout the whole song. Remember, everybody in the jam is now relying on you as the song leader to lead us through that song. Typically, what will happen in a bluegrass or a folk jam or even jazz is the person leading the song will sing a verse and a chorus, and then people will take solos. As the leader of the song, you kind of become the director of the soloists. So what I usually do, and what I think most people do, is they pass the solo around in a circle to the left. So wherever I'm standing, if we're jamming, I just say you, and then you, and then you, and then you, and then you. Most of the time, what we'll do is we'll sing a verse and then a chorus, and then someone will take a solo over a verse, and then we'll sing another verse and a chorus, and then another solo, and then you repeat until you get all the way back around again, or until you run out of song. Be clear about when you want the song to end. You can do something by like raising your guitar up like this to signal the end of the song, or you could do this little trick where you stick your foot out into the middle of the circle and that signals that it's the end of the song to the group. Now you've done it. You've played your first song in a jam. It's an exhilarating feeling and it's great fun. Remember, get into it, but also be careful careful not to get too excited and get in there and take over the jam. This is something that we call a jam buster. So somebody or certain songs can even be jam busters. If you come in and you take over the whole jam and you try to lead every single song and you don't pass around the opportunity to lead a song, or you don't pass around the solos, or if you're, kind of overtaking the whole experience, that might make you become known as a jam buster. On a similar note, try not to choose a song that's too fast, too many chords, or too hard to pick up for a group of beginner players. Stick to a 3 or 4 chord song that even those who have never heard the song before can jump in and play along with. Most importantly, have fun, make friends, and make music with other people. Most of the people at your jam are going to be there because they're excited to play music with people just like you. They want a chance to get together and make friendships and practice their playing. Maybe they're even there to try to put together a band and continue on with more fun stuff. So jump in and have some fun, and maybe I'll see you at a jam sometime.